Welcome to Cryptids of the Corn. Each week, Justin and Jay take a look at a topic in the crypto and paranormal world. They focus on the Midwest and Appalachia of the U.S., but sometimes they venture out with everything from well-known monster sightings to one-off cryptids, live person interviews to actual fieldwork sneaking in some science lessons. There's sure to be something you'll enjoy. Please join us this episode of Cryptids of the Corn.
Hey guys, real quick before the main show gets rolling, I got a big announcement. Cryptids of the Corn is going live with Hillbilly Horror Stories, April 22nd of this year, of 2023 that is. And this is going to be from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Both shows will be doing a live show with meet and greets before and after, and the Cryptids of the Corn crew is going to go be hanging out in the local area. This is going to be at the Post-Town Elementary in Middletown, Ohio. So all of our Ohio listeners and fans, come on out and see us. The link will be below in the description to buy your tickets. And once again, if you come and you're a fan of Cryptids of the Corn, we will be doing hangout sessions after 10 p.m. at a local bar. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. I am the great and powerful Mr. E.
And I'm just Jay today.
Ooh,
Just
Jay.
Just Jay.
And together, your Cryptids of the Corn podcast, we have a long-awaited episode today. But before we get into that, we got a lot of front of house stuff. We're starting to get famous, so we got to take care of all this front of house stuff.
Enough of that word.
No, but just so Facebook, just shouting that out again. We do like giveaways on Facebook. We do the Facebook Lives, Cryptid in the Coffee every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We do some evening ones. So there's always kind of stuff, and there's other people that post on our Facebook. So there's all kinds of other stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, and we're a Facebook group, so there's a lot of room for discussion and interaction. So join in.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. Just I don't know, post anything you want. Just post it there for us. You know, it's in our domain, and we'll have a discussion about it.
Instagram, Emily runs that, but we do have that. There's some fun stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon. Patreon's a lot of fun. We're going to welcome our new members here in a second. We got a pretty sizable list again, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Patreon gets special giveaways or special perks. If you're going to join our Patreon and you want to be in this first, so I think I change it every time. So you have to be a paid member by January 1st to get in this first round of $5 and $10 give outs. And then I think I'll do it every 6 months. So it don't matter. Yeah. So it don't matter if you've been there for 2 months, a month, or you've been there the whole 6 months. Every 6 months we'll do the send out of stuff for those tiers.
Okay.
Because I think it's just the easiest way for me to
keep track.
Yeah. So, yep. So if you want to get on this first pass of Patreon custom t-shirts and minifigures, depending on which level you pick.
Can't we just write their name down and set an alarm 6 months later or a year later?
That's going to be really complicated.
I mean, you just put it in your...
There's 22 of them now, and it's already too complicated.
I'll put it in my calendar on my phone.
Anyways, so get on Patreon, be a paid member in this month of December before January 1st to be in the first round. But that's that stuff. Let's welcome our new Patreon members. Jay?
We have Michael, I hope I'm saying this right, Whitley?
Michael's been a member of the main page for a while. We've talked to him a lot.
Yep, he's always pretty active on our Facebook group. We got our first Australian Patreon member, and I'm probably going to butcher his last name, Dale Grunberger.
Yeah, he said we did it right the first time. So
all right. So I guess I got it right.
We're his only Patreon, so that was awesome, he said.
We feel honored.
Yeah. Dale's pretty cool. He told me he was a serial killer, though, this morning.
So that's fun.
But he said he's not going to kill us, so...
So we're good.
Yeah.
So he's one of the good ones.
He's one of the good ones.
We got John Applegate.
Yep, John. John has some pretty cool stories that you'll hear on the Patreon episodes later.
Mm-hmm. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Bob Trobaugh.
Bob's been pretty active on the Facebook group. So yeah, thank you guys for being Patreon members. There's one more? I'm sorry.
And there's one more.
I'm sorry.
Angel Sanchez.
Angel. I even had it on my list.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Thank you guys for being Patreon members. It's greatly appreciated. Gets us to being one step closer to us quitting our jobs and doing this full time.
Yeah.
If we both make enough money to quit both our jobs, we will produce an episode every day.
Every day. With additional content. I will make molds of my feet and send them to you all in the mail.
We already did. We haven't sent them to anybody, but they're made. All right, the new intro giveaway is closed. So I just gotta basically here's who I have entered. Rachel Nightingale. This is our Patreon members that are entered. And if you're a Patreon member and we use your submitted clip in the new intro, you get a T-shirt.
Yes.
If not, if you're not a Patreon member and we use your giveaway, you're entered in the raffle for a T-shirt, but you'll at least get something. Whether it's car stickers, you'll get something.
We'll send you a little something your way. But
here's who I have entered. And this is the Patreon level. We have Rachel, Daphne, Andy, and Bob.
Thank you, guys.
If we use any of your clips, you'll be getting an extra T-shirt. On the Facebook, and these are people that aren't on Patreon but are on Facebook, Greg and Justin. Hi, guys. And then we have 2 Instagram entries that are just on Instagram. Craig Miller, he's active on Instagram. We talk on Instagram all the time. And T. Grave 1793.
Whoever you are, thank you.
Yeah, I don't, that's the one thing I really don't like about Instagram is trying to figure out who people are.
Right,
for this kind of stuff that we do.
Or to thank them or send them
to
gifts.
Send them stuff. It's just like, well, I can't give you a shout out because your name is just numbers and random letters.
Right, yeah. Your handle,
yeah. It's weird. But some of them have, like I'm going to assume Craig Miller's his name.
Probably. It'd be a pretty good guess.
But yeah, so thank you guys for entering in that. That'll premiere Season 3. And I think we're going to have a hell of a Season 3 opener.
I think so,
It's
too.
really shaping up to be one.
Yeah, it's molding itself.
Yeah. The Season 2 ender is going to be a hell of a thing, too. Like lizard people.
I know. I don't know why we did that.
I don't know. You just started doing it, so I started doing it.
I know.
So thank you, guys. The support for the show has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to do our new reviews. Once again, if you leave a 5-star review, we will read it as long as it's appropriate for the show.
Right, yeah.
No matter how, and I regretted that immediately from one person because it is appropriate for the show, but it's really hard to read. And I'm glad Jay got what the reference was because I did not.
I think I did.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how wrong you are.
Let's do that one second.
Okay, so who do we have first? Say their name.
So first is Mr. Milos.
5-star.
Love your podcast. It is my favorite. When I started listening to it, I fell in love with cryptids.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Very heartwarming.
You said Mr. Milo?
Mr. Milo.
Thank you,
or
Mr.
Milos.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then we have this other one.
It's great. It's great. And 5 stars.
5 stars by Funhouse Fan Forever. Title, podcast. I like the corn. That's what he titled it. So, and he spelled corn like with a K, like the band Korn, which you'll see. So this is my favorite podcast ever. I love Monkey from Korn, the band. He be slapping that MFing bass. And the singer, Jonathan Davis, goes, okay, now this is the part where I think goes, I can't do it.
Just
something like that.
So has anybody seen the Wild Thornberries? It's Donnie.
I think he's doing the song Twist from Korn or Freak on the Leash. I don't know which one it is.
Gosh.
If it's one of those, Funhouse Fan Forever, let me know if it's one of those.
But thank you guys for the 5-star reviews. It greatly helps us out.
Oh, yeah. And
so
we love it. We love reading the comments.
So, yeah, leave a 5-star review.
Yeah.
So we can
hear your name and your review on the show.
And eventually I think we're going to do a T-shirt giveaway with 5-star reviews.
Ooh, the best one?
Yeah.
Ooh, the most fun one.
Yeah.
Or maybe the most heartwarming one.
Whatever. I mean,
whatever the criteria
probably
may be.
just be a random person. I'll probably do the random number generator because that's fair.
Draw it out of a hat.
Mm-hmm.
But a tinfoil hat.
A tinfoil hat. So thank you guys. The support for the show has been amazing. But the content of this episode, it's been long awaited. And I'm going to say this, that we took a more generalist approach for all these type of cryptids that have been spread around instead of really diving super hard into one of them. Because I think it kind of shows a different story when you look at them as a whole.
Okay.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Jay, who are we covering today?
We're covering the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to just say something random to see your face.
Like, yep, the big turtle.
Yeah. Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Fresno Nightcrawler.
And this is one I never knew about before we started doing this podcast. Never even heard of it.
The cult following that happened from the Fresno Nightcrawlers is crazy. Like, they're everywhere. At Crypticon, there was so much art.
Yeah, that's true.
They're basically mostly walking pants.
Yeah.
They kind of look like a pair of white walking pants. And we're going to talk about that they probably aren't walking pants. I have a lot of thoughts on what these things are.
Okay, I'm trying to think where you're going with that, but...
So these things can look very rigid in some spots and very, like, flapping in the wind in others.
It's like walking pants with a squid head.
Yeah, they basically, it's weird.
Yeah.
They're very odd to look at. It's a hard concept.
And they were caught. There's video evidence of them.
So, yep. We're going to get into the famous first sighting. So we're going to go Jose.
Jose, okay.
Yeah. That's the man's name. He wanted to remain anonymous. But
okay, Jose.
November 2007, a man named Jose was startled from his sleep in Fresno, California, in his home by his dogs barking and the security system. He had a security camera set up to record and alert of any potential intruders. Likely a little flustered, he headed to check out the footage, but what he saw wasn't someone trying to break in his home. Jose saw what would later become known as the Fresno Nightcrawlers when he reviewed the footage. These creatures were approximately 2 to 3 foot tall, which mostly made of legs of their body mass. They compared to a pair of white pajama pants walking through his lawn. So, real quick, that's the short and dirty version of the story. Mm-hmm. He was his dogs were being bothered. He seemed to be very, not paranoid, but freaked out.
After seeing this, or
no, before?
Before, okay.
And it's kind of later on. It kind of leads back into some of the possible explanations. He was unnaturally scared of something that looked so harmless and mundane.
Okay.
I mean, any of the videos of the Fresno Nightcrawlers don't look like they could hurt you.
They just look creepy.
I mean, they look creepy, but it looks like a piece of fabric with 2 sticks.
Yeah.
Like, really, if it's coming at you, it's not the scariest thing we're going to cover on this show ever.
That's true.
But he was like really freaked out before he got video evidence. And then when he got video evidence, he was really freaked out.
Imaginably so.
But yeah, so I used some of this from Skeptoid.com, which is another podcast. But so the story got its start, once again, in 2017 by a man who only gave his name as Jose. He has passed away since this.
Ooh.
But he was alive for a while. He's on a couple of TV shows and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, like, that's not that long ago.
No.
Was that when the first sighting was?
He was a little older, yeah. 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he said 17.
Oh, sorry. Back November 2007.
7. Okay. Okay. Still, that's not that long ago, but that was the first sighting of the Fresno Nightcrawler? Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's not an old cryptid, and it's been seen a lot, which we'll get into. So he was, like I said, he felt odd, so he put up a security camera. And I've seen his interviews and stuff like that. He has a hard time explaining why he felt odd. And you can really see it in him. Like, he's very upset and very disturbed, but he doesn't know, at least he's not sharing why.
Okay.
He didn't have somebody breaking into his house. His dogs would bark at nothing. But he got a security system. And, yeah, it was just, he got this thing. So, he brought his home security videotape into the Fresno office of Univision, a Spanish-language TV network. The tape showed 2 short white creatures, like I said, pair walking across his lawn. One was taller and one was followed by a smaller one. Seeking some expert commentary on the tape, Univision contacted Victor Camacho.
Okay.
I'm just going to call him Victor.
Yeah.
And he's been on a lot of shows. He's a really high-end MUFON guy. He's really a very smart man. But I just am famous with bad names.
That's all right. Victor.
But Victor. Host of the late-night paranormal radio show Las Devocias, which means the sleepless ones.
Okay.
I just said it fast and hoped it was right.
Yeah, that's how you do with Spanish words.
They asked him to come on air and state that the videos were aliens. So this is kind of weird. I want to stop for just a second. So far, we have Jose. Gets these weird creatures in his yard. He's having... I don't like using the word paranoid because I'm not saying he's paranoid, but he's getting the feeling of paranoia placed on him around his home.
Yeah, almost like an unnerving feeling.
Yes, that's probably a better way to put it.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel easy.
Yeah.
And so he gets this video of these creatures, and then he's freaking out. And he goes back and forth and not showing him and showing him and not showing him and showing him. And then finally he goes to this a TV station. And here's where some of the stuff gets muddy right here.
Okay.
And it's not Jose's fault.
Yeah. Is it Victor's fault?
No.
Okay.
It's neither of these guys. Victor, I really have respect for Victor, what I'm about to tell you here in a minute.
Okay.
But Jose brought in the videotape. Instead of making a copy of the video, the news network videotaped it off the monitor, as in they had a camera record the monitor. The screen.
Yeah.
As his tape was playing.
It's probably for, like, lower quality?
It's super low quality, and it's almost impossible to do any film analysis on.
Right, yeah.
So that comes back around later. That it ruined this.
You need the original.
Yeah, or at least they should have copied it.
Of the original,
yeah. That'd have been so much better.
Not a copy of a copy.
It's a copy of a copy.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and then, so they wanted, okay, now let's go back. The news network wanted Victor to say these were aliens.
Okay.
He wanted him to come on, they were paying him, they wanted him to come on as an expert and say these were aliens. The news network wanted him to do that.
Yeah.
This man is a MUFON researcher, all this stuff. He was not convinced they were aliens, so he would not say that.
Good.
That's what I'm saying. I have a lot of respect, because a lot of people would have jumped on the opportunity
To do that.
Yes.
For sure.
And he didn't.
I wonder why they wanted to push that.
Because it was for the news. It was going to
sell.
sell. Yeah,
To
it was going
sell.
to sell.
Yeah.
You know, it was going to just explode.
Oh, I bet. But it's weird that the news got approval to even go with that angle.
Well, it is from Univision. It was the Spanish-speaking network.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess. I don't know. I don't think it was their biggest network. So they were probably trying to pick stories that weren't being picked up by the other network.
Just to get some buzz.
Mm-hmm. So Victor told his story at a 2008, so a year later, MUFON UFO Symposium in San Jose, California. Excuse me. He explained to Univision that he couldn't say that they were aliens because he didn't know what the creatures were. So he met with Jose, though. But Jose was way too scared to say very much. Jose was pretty much clammed up. He didn't want to be found. He didn't want to talk about this. A few months later, though, in February 2008, Jose called Victor and asked if he had learned anything new about his video. Victor went and met with him at his house. Jose showed him the yard where the video was taken, and it was clear that the creatures were quite small, no more than half a meter tall, so 2 to 3 feet.
Oh, okay.
The big one was maybe 2.5, 3 foot tall. The little one was like 1.5 foot tall.
Interesting.
And that was basically it. So as far as Jose and Victor have said, nothing further was ever learned. It's a cool YouTube video, and that's where the story sat. But 2010, though, the paranormal TV show Fact or Fake, which I loved, you could say whatever you want about it. It was definitely entertaining.
For sure.
Did a segment video about it, and they try to recreate these Fresno Nightcrawlers if they could make animatronics or puppets or something, and they could not. But yeah, so that's kind of where the Fresno Nightcrawler part of this ends.
Man, and I always picture them being bigger in my head. I don't know why. Just seemed like they were tall, like 6 foot,
Oh, they get bigger.
Oh, okay. That's just what I pictured from this video. I guess I didn't pay too much attention to the scale, but that's crazy that they're Fresno Nightcrawlers, and that's really the only sighting there was.
It was very small, and it got a lot of buzz.
Yeah,
on the news. Jose did not want to talk about it. He barely let Victor in.
I wonder too if he was approached by maybe Men in Black or something. That's why he was unnerved or something.
That could be, but I don't think he'd have gone back to Victor then.
Well, maybe
because he was already very scared.
Mm-hmm.
So if he got threatened, he probably would have really shut up.
Well, I mean, maybe Victor did have answers or something, and they just never disclosed or talked about it because he told him hey, these guys in the Men in Black, whoever they are, threatened me. They showed me how to dress all my family, and they they did this. Which one is it? Hold on. Which one is they showed up to his doorstep and yeah, see? And then that's what happened. Maybe that's why Jose was scared. I don't know though. It's hard saying, especially when these guys if they're involved. But I don't think it's aliens though.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that was really short on the Fresno Nightcrawlers because we're going to cover a lot more other stuff. Mm-hmm. But basically, there's a lot of other podcasts that go really, really in depth in the Fresno Nightcrawlers, specifically just that story.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to it.
Well, here,
but,
let's like really get a visual description of what they look like. They're tall or not tall.
Fleshy white pants.
Fleshy white pants, baggy pants,
with little
or
tiny
skinny jeans.
Baggy pants with little tiny feet.
So they did have little feet, and then the head was like a, I don't know, like I said earlier, kind of like a squid shape.
Imagine if you take a pair of jeans.
Okay.
Put an octopus on the top of it.
Yeah.
Now paint it white and like a ghost.
Okay.
That's what a Fresno Nightcrawler is.
So ghost pants.
With a squid
With
on
a squid
top.
head.
An octopus on top.
Okay. And it's just scooting across the yard, just walking?
And it's walking really weird, almost like it's on stilts.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funky. I mean, there's a lot. But this would not be the only encounter with the fearsome Nightcrawlers. Bum, bum, bum.
There's more.
Mm-hmm. Following the publicity is when more videos of the Nightcrawlers began to appear. The next popular one was posted on YouTube in April 2011. And there are more than the ones we're going to cover.
Yeah.
But I'll pick some of the big ones. By a UFO and gaming YouTuber named Davis X Life Opry? Yeah, sure. Who said it was a security cam footage recorded about a month before by a retired friend who lived inside Yosemite National Park, not far from Fresno. In this footage, a pair of Nightcrawlers, again one tall, one small, walked down a paved path. He said he visited at his friend's request and took a daytime photo of the pathway from the vantage point of the security camera, placing a baby stroller on the path for scale. He superposed the video onto the show. The taller Nightcrawler is about the height of the stroller, and the smaller one is about half as big. The video is clearer than the Fresno Nightcrawler original video, though still not clear enough to get any real details on these creatures. Talking about the minutes to traverse the frames, these creatures seem to lose fabric and may have something like a small head on top of them. On one note from Dovis is that an obvious fan of UFOs and paranormal happened to be the one that received from the anonymous calls from the retired person who caught this indescribable creature on this video. So basically, it's just saying, like, keep that in mind, that he is a paranormal and UFO or YouTuber.
Okay.
So it's, you got to have that. But basically, these creatures, he thinks the big one was 4 to 5 foot tall.
So that's a little bit bigger than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is they came in pairs again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just one individual right now. Both times it's been pairs.
So, yeah, anything about the Yosemite one?
I mean, it's almost similar account, but he wasn't as freaked out about it, I guess, as Jose was, or as unnerved by it.
Yeah, they're weird. The way they move, and that's what bugs me. When we get into, like, possibilities later, that's what bugs me about them is the way they move.
Okay.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Huh?
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Oh.
No, they're weird. They're freaky movements. The Yosemite one is a weird video. But what's scarier than a 4 foot, or what's scarier than a 3 foot Fresno Nightcrawler is a 4 foot Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
What's scarier than a 4 foot Fresno Nightcrawler?
A 5 foot Fresno.
How about let's 7.5?
Okay, that's a bit bigger.
And they get a little more defined with age, it seems.
Okay.
So let's jump to 2014. Let's bring this home, Jay.
Ooh.
Carmel, Ohio.
Is that far from us?
It's up by Cleveland.
Okay.
Right below Cleveland.
But it's a lot closer than Fresno.
Yeah, in the winter of 2014, a married couple driving from their home in Ohio had an all but head-on collision with one of the most anatomically inexplainable creatures that has ever been reported. This thing is weird. It's a really big Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
But with some extra features.
The Mount Carmel monster, right?
Mm-hmm. On December 18th, 2014, the Highland County Press of Hillsborough, Ohio, published an account from the Mutual UFO Network investigation, Ron McGloney, regarding a strange report of a bizarre bipedal beast that almost struck a motor vehicle just 6 days earlier in Carmel, an unincorporated community in Highland County. The event question concerned a 59-year-old former Marine who was driving his wife home Friday, December 12, 2014. The anonymous witness, our eyewitness, said at the scene, explained that the thing that he had seen was not his first local brush-in with the unexplainable, stating, so here's his quote, "We recently bought a place in the Hill area in southeast Hillland County. We first noticed after about 30 days of living here, we suddenly have a perfect circle that stays fresh green, no matter what weather, in our front yard. Whether or not the snow-defying patch of vegetation is... so this is not his quote anymore. Whether or not the snow-defying patch of vegetation is related to the other anomalous events in the area is a matter of speculation. What is established is that the fact, however, alleged alien animal that was the drivers nearly hit was unlike anything the veteran has ever seen." Another quote from him. "On Friday night, we were driving home after turning on the Carmel Road, which leads to our road. We went around the curve by the Carmel Church and a small incline, approximately 10 feet over the incline. In front of our truck was, quote-unquote, alien ran across the road into the woods." Unquote. Originally, the eyewitnesses sketched something showing a creature leaning forward and running left to right. This is unquestionably crazy critter is described as gray in pigment and approximately 7.5 feet tall. A gangly, muscular legs that bent backwards at the knee. The thing has a narrow torso and appears to lack both arms and a head.
Interesting.
So, a big Fresno Nightcrawler.
Like a big bipedal. It's weird that they actually mention leg definition.
Yeah, it's getting stronger.
Yeah.
If you want to connect them as the same thing, they probably aren't the same thing. But
Gotcha. But they're definitely in the same clade.
they look very similar. Although she was apparently looking down when she was swiftly moving monstrosity and narrowly avoided the car, the unnamed Marine's wife confirmed that her husband was basically a credible witness.
Okay.
And further described him as, "My husband saw it. He's a skeptic, almost 60 years old, and a proud Marine. He wouldn't have admitted of seeing anything, and he wouldn't have admitted to being in shock if it wasn't real. He had drawn it for me when we got to the house. He says it was asphalt gray. Our asphalt is gray," she said, quote unquote. Like anybody at home has been in like a shop. Like I'm assuming she's meaning that kind of gray, like what you do your concrete in.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
About 7 feet tall, no arms he could see, but muscular leg area.
Had two of them. I'm sorry.
No jaw lines and legs bent backwards, leaning as it ran. And she said, on a personal note, the eyewitness sketch resembles, to me anyways, the head of a giant squid, connected with lengthy legs and a large bird or ungulate. Hence the description of the creature called the Carmel walking squid.
Ooh.
Wildlife biologist Kurt Bronze presented a website of doubtful news with a hypothesis regarding what he believes is the true identity of the alien life form. He posed the Marine actually saw was nothing more than a common forest-dwelling creature striking an unusual pose, according to Bronze. Are you ready for this?
If you say sandhill crane,
I
will shoot you.
So I want to, before I say this, let's say this. This creature, he said, is 7.5 foot tall, gray, backwards facing legs.
No arms.
No arms, and he draws it with large claws on the end of the feet.
Okay.
No head, very muscular.
Is an owl, he's going to say.
7.5 foot tall. Here's our friend Kurt Bronze, the wildlife biologist. While the description of that thing does sound like a horrendous creature from the game Silent Hill, I propose a very normal explanation. Assuming that the witness actually saw something already so demeaning.
It. Yeah.
And that the description matches what the witness saw, my educated guess is what the witness saw was a very real animal acting a way that, while not particularly, isn't something most people commonly observe, is a white-tailed deer walking on its rear legs.
Stop. A white-tailed deer walking on its legs, just scooting across the road.
This is why people in my old job profession get made fun of by people in my current job profession.
I've seen many white-tailed deer.
I've seen them run on their hind legs.
And this ain't, come on. With the big claws, no arms. They get its front two arms shot off too and its head blown off. And they decide to run off.
A giant squid running around in pants looks just like a deer.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
It's like, what the hell are these guys thinking? They just have to say something.
Yes.
So here, Bronze elaborates. Let's not tear into him too much until I finish his quote.
But first, I like how he started off. If they actually saw
so demeaning.
something, as he, like, I don't know, probably takes a sip of his tea.
So demeaning.
Yeah.
So Bronze elaborated. Dare will rear up and even walk on two legs for a few reasons, mostly relating to males competing and reaching for food. They don't normally walk that far, but there's no reason to assume that a male couldn't at least appear to have walked upright as far as the witness claims.
Okay.
He said this thing ran across the road on its hind legs. It was a deer.
Yeah. Oh, this is not a commonly witnessed behavior, but I'm trying to be a condescending biologist that knows everything.
Yeah, he has others. Others have suggested that the real culprit may have been a large bird, such as the great blue heron or egret, but Bronze himself, who contradicts such arguments by saying that. So this is the guy that says it's a deer,
Yes.
but says it cannot be a bird.
Yes, for what reasons?
A bird would have been a lot better than a white-tailed deer. I'm just saying that right now.
Me too. I would rather accepted a giant owl that ran across the road.
A sandhill crane.
Even a sandhill crane.
Because at least they're bipedal and kind of gray.
And have backwards bending legs, I think, right?
And big feet.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. But no, deer.
At least a sandhill crane kind of looks like the thing.
Yeah.
And if it's running upright, you won't see arms because they're tucked in.
Right, exactly. Nope, deer.
So here's what he says about it being a bird. Egrets do not normally out overwinter in Ohio or small whitish birds. The great blue heron, who currently matches the color of asphalt gray mentioned by the wife of the witness, but would not be anywhere near 7 feet tall. Based on what I know about their behaviors, I would also assume you wouldn't find them running across the field quickly. I tend to walk slowly in by bobbing manner or flying. So this is the guy that said it was a deer that ran across the road on its hind legs.
But can't be a bird because they would
they
never
don't run.
They would never do that.
What the hell is this guy?
He's fitting his own narrative.
Yeah. All right. So Bronze also felt that an emu or a rhea or an ostrich might match the general height, color, and weird legs hinge described, but would be too bulky to be the culprit. The nearest ostrich farm is only 174 miles away. An escape would have had made tremendous journey to get through Columbus in the freeway around here. Yeah, basically, I hate this guy.
Well, it sounds like he had to come up with something.
This is the son of the guy from the Mothman.
Yeah,
stuff.
Probably. He had to come up with something, so he first proposed his deer idea,
and then he defended it like an idiot.
And then someone else brought up, well, couldn't it be this? And then he's like, oh, that's actually a better idea. No, it can't be. This is why. They would never do that.
I've worked with people like this.
I know things. He's like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
No, this is why we can't, I don't know, desalinate water, because it costs too much money. And it's not because of this or this reason. It's because of what I said. That's the only reason. I don't know. Something like that.
I think that's probably the only thing I've ever agreed with him on.
All right. Not because it's too much energy, it's too hard to do, or it's not worth it.
Right now, it's not worth it. Because we have easier...
Let's move on.
In 20 years, we may be having...
20 years.
I'm telling you, next war is fought over water.
It will be.
Because of global warming.
No, it's
Anyways,
not. That's not real. But go on.
No, so yeah, that's pretty much for Come Ohio Creature. But in my opinion, a very credible witness that this freaking biologist was like very demeaning towards.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know why people gotta be like that. Like they have to.
I think you were right that he probably said something stupid first, and then this is like one of the few cryptids I could be like, that's a bird.
Yeah, and he's like, no, it can't be. This is why.
Literally, it looks like a sandhill crane.
They probably came to him for for the first time ever for help. And he's like, oh, it's my moment. Could be a deer. And then he realized how stupid it was. And he's like, can't backpedal now. No, they'll never come back to me again for my ingenious insight. I don't remember his name, and I don't care to know it.
No, we need to remember it for history.
Yeah, he can be gone.
Kurt Bronze.
He can be gone to history.
I wonder if I've ever worked with him.
Oh, probably. It's not that long ago.
All right. Creighton friends everywhere.
Yeah, we take shots at the French and other biologists.
We have almost no listeners in France. We lost them.
Well, you know what? Good riddance. No, I'm just kidding.
So it's
a love-hate relationship.
The last famous known, more famous Fresno Nightcrawler-like creature sighting was August 2017. It's said to be from Poland. And it's a video. You guys can look this up. It's being titled, so this is the title. Fresno Nightcrawlers found in Poland. It has no description other than a couple hashtags and is posted anonymously. 35-second video is almost completely black, but for 5 seconds you can see the partial view that appeared to be a Nightcrawler illuminated, and the other videos by this customer's video camera near infrared night mode. The figure appeared to be rigid, yet twisting. This is a weird one. I watched it. So it looks like it's big, though. I think this is another 7-footer.
Okay.
But you can see, it looks like it's 2 sticks in very light fabric pants. But the fabric seems to actually be a little more fleshy. It's hard to describe. If anybody's ever seen, how the squid's fins move in the water, it's kind of like that. So the flesh is all like that. But there's 2 hard, sticks in the legs.
Yeah.
They don't look like they bend. From this thing walking, it looks like it's walks like a penguin because it doesn't have knees.
Or on stilts, like you said earlier.
So this is another one. So they all have the kind of the same classic description. The Carmel Island, he got a better look at it, I think, because the rest of them are videos. That's probably the only one I can find that has an eyewitness.
Yeah.
Wasn't secondhand, wasn't video. The guy actually saw the thing, and it was moving pretty quick. Like
a deer.
Yeah. It was on its hind legs like a deer. Don't worry, we'll come back to that.
Okay, good.
So let's recap real quick.
Yeah.
So, San Francisco, 2007.
No, Fresno.
Fresno, what'd I say?
San Francisco.
Sorry.
Close enough.
Yeah. Fresno, California, 2007. Jose sees it. It gets local news attention. So a pretty high-end MUFON investigator, Victor, goes into it. They don't really get anywhere with it.
Right.
A couple months later, Yosemite, which is only 100 miles away, pops up with a similar creatures. Still a pair.
Mm-hmm.
Then we jump up to Ohio, Carmel, Ohio. Really tall, a little bit bigger than the rest of them.
But just one this time.
Just one. But who's to say he didn't just miss the second one?
That's true, yeah.
The biologist says it's a big bird, or a deer.
Deer, yes.
And then we could jump to Poland. And then in between these, there are hundreds of videos of Fresno Nightcrawler-like things. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's definitely a cryptid that I don't know. I don't know if any of them are older than 2007.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of them recorded since then.
Interesting.
So what do you think so far before we get into the explanations? We got a lot of explanations to get through.
For sure. I even have my own that I think it could be. I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting phenomena. I don't know whether they're biological beings or ghost-like beings. I don't know for sure. Or, interdimensional things. But whatever.
Before we get into explanations, because
yeah.
I think it's where you're heading. Do you think Jose actually seen something in his camera?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think he faked it?
No.
A lot of people think he faked it. I don't think he faked it.
I don't think so either.
I think it was real.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll say it like this. If it was faked, Jose did not do it.
Okay, there you go. Because he didn't act as though... What would be the point of faking it and then just hiding from it all?
Yeah, so Jose, whatever he was scared of, the thing he filmed.
Yeah.
I 100% believe Jose.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go on to the
Yosemite.
Yosemite. This was right after this started getting hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
This is a YouTuber that specializes in the paranormal and UFOs.
Ooh. So this
and it's anonymously got sent to him.
Potentially could be faked.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing we got to remember is that he could be using this to ride that wave.
Right, yeah, to get views and clicks. Now, I'm not saying it is fake, but there's potential there.
We got to look at that from all sides.
Yeah, there's motive.
The video looks pretty okay. It looks similar creatures. So now, is it a clever marketing thing for his YouTube channel? Go into a big city and walk in this puppet or whatever it is down, and then start moving it closer to home so you don't have to drive to the Fresno every time?
Yeah.
So, just saying that. Carmel, Ohio.
I would say it's whatever was real happened.
Very credible eyewitness.
Yeah.
Very shook. And a very scary creature. Everybody at home, if you're not driving, look up the Carmel, Ohio creature or Mount Carmel monster. It is freaky.
It is. And
I don't like that it doesn't have a mouth, and I think that's what bugs me because you don't know how it's going to come at you.
it's got a beak between its legs.
Oh, so it is a squid.
Yeah, it's a squid.
We'll talk about that later.
And an awful cover-up story. Awful.
I mean, just same level as freaking Mothman.
Yes, pretty bad. So now you know there's some credibility to it.
Yeah, when a wildlife biologist says it's a standing deer,
And he's very distinct about it and very against any other
very
idea.
disrespectful to a service member.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just
Shame.
yeah,
Shame.
yeah, yes.
Kurt. Shame on you, Kurt.
And then this Polish one, looks very good. I know I didn't get the chance to show you before we started.
Mm-hmm.
Looks very good. And it's really anonymous. It didn't get famous. I mean, it has that one video on that channel has like 35,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
Not really YouTube famous by any stretch.
But it's
Got some views, but it's not like it's known. But
it's not viral.
Like,
it's not taken off. Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. There's no information with it. Like really, there's nothing with that.
Mm-hmm. Which lends to more credibility.
I think maybe, or it's whoever's making these puppets is really playing around with it.
They're getting pretty good at it, I guess. What if that's all it is? Like some puppeteer, like flying a giant. I don't know. He's in a blimp above.
All right, so let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Because you know what happened in 2007, right?
I don't know.
Drones started becoming more commercially available.
Ooh, okay.
So let's get into what this could be, and we have a lot.
Yeah.
A prankster walking on stilts wearing gigantic fluffy pants.
2 of them.
Yeah.
But okay, hold on. Maybe on the second 2, but the first one, no, can't be that.
They're not very big.
That'd be a small prankster on some small stilts.
And let's go through all of our 4 sightings.
Unless it's mini-me on some stilts.
So let's go through all 4 of our sightings with this option.
Yeah.
So with number 1 with the Fresno Nightcrawlers, they are tiny. They are really small.
Right.
So for it to be an actual person, I mean, the big one's 3 foot tall.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The second set there in Yosemite, the big one's 5 foot, so sure, it could be kids. You know,
Yeah.
One's 4 foot, one's 5 foot, whatever.
Yeah.
That could be kids, and they walk in funky, whatever. So sure, that fits one of our 4. Carmel is 7 foot tall on a road on a blind curve.
Probably not a person. Unless
that
they
would
have a
be
death
very
wish.
dumb
To
be in a costume trying to run across the road as a car's coming at you in a blind curve.
Yeah. Not very smart.
I'm not saying it's impossible. It is Ohio.
But not practical.
I mean, it is Ohio.
That is true.
Our college kids are very dumb.
Yes, very much so.
Not all of them, but we have outliers that would do this.
That's true. There always is one.
I mean, at Ohio Bigfoot Conference this past year, there was a kid dressed up as a Bigfoot that he could have been shot.
Oh. That's not a lie, because we were outside, yes, and he ran through the woods.
And people were looking to kill a Bigfoot.
Yeah, it was not smart.
Yeah.
It was not smart.
But it's whatever. You're young for a reason.
Yeah.
You get shot at and you learn.
Yeah, that's the thrill of life.
And then finally, this Poland thing. It's 7 foot tall, and it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, sure. It's big enough to be a person in stilts. It kind of moves like a person in stilts, wearing this big sheety fabric.
Sheety.
Mm-hmm.
It's sheety fabric.
Mm-hmm. Southbrook already did that.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm. City beef.
Yeah.
No, so I'm going for this one, no.
Which one?
The prankster.
Being a prankster. Yeah, I would agree.
So let's move on to the kind of next one. A puppet kind of deal on a drone. So why don't you see because that's the big thing. You don't see a string on camera. So it'd have to be on a long line with a drone. And you'd have to have a puppeteering.
But it walks like steps, right?
Kind of, but you can make something that kind of does this. They look funky.
For sure.
So yeah, maybe on all of them, except the Carmel, Ohio one, because it had muscle and he about smoked it with a car.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I wish you would have hit it.
That would have been cool. It probably would have been scooped up that same night by the Smithsonian, and you never even would have heard this story.
So what are you going with the drone, yay or nay?
I'm going to go nay. I just feel like this is a big nay.
Yeah, sure. Here's one that's weird that I didn't get vibes off all the videos I watched of the Fresno Nightcrawlers, but this is one that gets pushed a lot.
Okay.
A species of primate that still hasn't been discovered has shorter arms than normal. So basically, this is a long-legged, short-armed primate
With claws on its feet?
that are with no fur and white flappy skin. I don't know where this comes from, but it pops up everywhere.
I don't like this one either. This feels almost as bad as the deer.
No, that's my next one. But
Okay. The next one, is it a deer? Are they all deer?
the next 6 are.
Yeah.
But no, so I don't think it's a primate. At least not how they're describing a conventional primate. It's weird.
Yeah.
They don't move fast most of the
No.
time. It doesn't seem like. The Carmel, Ohio one's kind of a... he doesn't really describe... It got over the road pretty quick, but he doesn't describe how fast it was going.
As an outlier to all these, I don't know.
So the next one is a deer standing up for some time.
No.
This is the dumbest thing.
Sorry, Kurt. You're just not that creative.
What if he listens?
I hope you do. Up your creative ability.
If you come on the show to try to redeem yourself, that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, we'll give you the platform. We'll give you the respect, unlike you may have done to others in the past.
Oh my gosh!
But we'll give you the opportunity, the platform here, to explain your awful explanation of this creature. You have an opportunity. The ball's in your court.
So, yay or nay on the deer?
I think you know my answer to
Well,
that
just for everybody at home.
one. Okay, it's keeping tally. A nay.
Okay. You're just like, this is the dumbest thing.
Yeah, it is.
And then, like, somebody else suggested a bird to him. And I really think it went like you. Crap, that's a better... No! You're dumb.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Birds don't do that. Duh.
Birds don't exist.
Yeah, basically. It's the next step.
All right, so my next one is puppets being wire-controlled. So that somebody really set up some elaborate systems
Yeah.
and started doing this. I don't know. This has been suggested a lot because they look kind of like puppets.
Yeah, like the little, what are those little, I want to say mariachis, but they're
marionettes.
not. Marionettes, yeah.
They look like a marionette with a trash bag on them.
Yeah, they do. But, okay, I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but
I just don't...
who practically is doing that?
Several other people, like Fact and Fake, try to do this.
Mm-hmm.
They could never get it to look right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but I'm going to lean way more towards not it.
Out of all the non-paranormal ones, this is probably the second most likely.
Okay. So is the next one the most likely?
Yes.
Okay, what's the next one?
A large, crane-like bird, probably stuck in a trash bag. And I brought this up because I've personally seen a seagull stuck in a plastic bag.
Yeah.
You know what it did?
It walked like that?
It just walked in a straight line.
Yeah, it just walked straight.
And it was like its whole brain shut off.
Yeah.
And it was walking kind of funky, trying to figure out how to get out of this.
Yeah.
And it just kept walking.
Walking
So
its way out.
whenever we're seeing birds getting stuck in garbage.
I mean, that'd be very coincidental having the pair twice show up.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But look at it like that. You can see especially the Fresno and the Polish one, you can see like a long, what looks like a hard stick inside the legs.
Oh, no.
Jay dropped his phone.
Again.
Professional podcasters.
I know. I have my explanation lined up here.
So this thing is walking like a bird. Or it's a bird. But you can see like these sticks caught up in the legs.
Yeah.
And it could be the crane's legs.
Right, yeah.
So this out of all the...
What if not a trash bag, but someone just wrapped these birds, like captured these birds and wrapped them and then let them go?
I can see people doing that. People
Yeah.
are awful. We actually found a dead toad tied to a balloon when we were in Chicago.
So someone probably...
Tied a live toad to a balloon, and when it ran out of air, it just sat in the air in a tree and starved to death.
Dang. That sucks.
So people do mean stuff to animals all the time.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that.
He probably had a pretty cool journey, though, until
Probably
it
not.
ended.
For something that simple, it's probably horrifying the whole time.
Oh, poor Toad. Just up in the air screaming. Like, can't even imagine what he's thinking.
You ready to get into some of the non-typical explanations?
Ooh, I wonder if mine's on the list.
All right. The first one, you want anything else before we move on to these guys?
Shoot, almost none of these really explain biologically what it is.
Oh, don't worry.
None of the ones we've covered so far.
I'll feed you, baby bird.
I'm ready.
Don't worry.
Mouth's open.
That was Pringles.
Mm. Pringles.
All right. An extraterrestrial creature. What if these are actually aliens? What if they come from a really different kind of gravity and stuff like that? And that's why they're walking so funky.
Yeah.
There was a couple really good... So I took some of this from the Kryptonaut podcast. Great podcast. That's one of my favorites. And they do a lot of interdimensional, extraterrestrial, kind of weird one-off creatures. There's a lot of them that act really slow and weird because they're not used to our gravity. That's kind of the explanation.
Or maybe not even used to our time. Like
anything, or atmosphere. I mean,
Yeah.
there are 100 different things.
Yeah.
So they move odd because it's not... it's like you walking underwater.
Right, yeah.
You're in slow motion.
It does kind of look like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them.
So let's say it's what do you think about it being an actual flesh and blood extraterrestrial?
like not from here.
No, extraterrestrial.
Oh, well, you know how I feel about that. I don't know. Probably not then. I'd say no.
So interdimensional.
Yeah, I would lean more towards something like that. Yeah.
So more like, are you saying like an animal like what we think the Mothman is, or more of an intelligent visitor?
Animal more like the Mothman is.
Okay.
Yes. Not a smart, well, not like a advanced, I don't know, brained
It didn't
being.
come here on purpose.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, got pulled through.
Mm-hmm.
It's just here.
So that would kind of fit with the Mothman MO that we presented, of it kind of just popping up here and there.
Mm-hmm. Which would explain why it's kind of randomly seen throughout the world.
So I'm going to go with it. On the extraterrestrial, interdimensional.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Plausible, not probable.
Yeah, it's more likely than a standing deer.
100%. 100%.
Ohio.
I think never mind.
The next one I have for you is a really weird one because it gets echoed a lot on the pages for this
Okay.
without a lot of backbone.
Okay.
I cannot find where people find this story or this legend, but it gets echoed pretty much on every page.
Okay.
The Native American legends are one of the most interesting answers to many of the Nightcrawler questions that actually do with local Native American legends. According to tribe members that live near Fresno, and I cannot find these people, but according to tribe members that live near Fresno, the Nightcrawlers are beings that are pretty much always lived on Earth, even before humans. According to these myths, the Nightcrawlers have long legs to allow them to move through difficult and boggy landscapes because they love this, or they come from a swamp, a swamp world, and they love swamplands.
Interesting.
So legends has it that these beings are part of our world now in order to rebuild the connection between human beings and our natural surroundings as a sort of peace bringer. While they don't seem to have made any noticeable efforts in generations indicating that they may not be nothing new to Fresno. So this gets echoed everywhere. I can't find it.
I may have more to add to this.
Good, because I couldn't find any of the Native Americans that talk about this legend besides white people saying that, like, yeah, the Native Americans say this stuff.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Right.
Because it's their culture. I want to hear it from them.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not real.
Be applying it to.
Yeah.
Or making it.
I want to hear it because they all say, they perfectly match the Native American descriptions of these beings. I want to see the Native American description of this being.
Well, I don't have Native American description, but I have Aboriginal description.
Ooh.
So how about that?
Yeah. I literally got a message about this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
So.
From Dale.
Oh, interesting. So did he talk about the memes?
So the Australian Slenderman from the Aborigines is what he was considering it as.
Australian what?
Slenderman.
Oh, okay, not that.
Okay, no, go on.
So memes are fairy-like beings from the folklore and Aboriginal indigenous tribes, in Australia. But they are described, and I used to watch this documentary from time to time. I always would revisit it because it just fascinated me. It was all about Aborigines, and like one of the guys could, I mean, they're still around, and they could still recount the history and the folklore, and they talked about it, and the one could speak in English or translate it. So it's kind of cool just seeing what they believe in and why they do the customs they do. And so it was a really good documentary. I think it's still on YouTube, but they talk about these thing called memes, and they're fairy-like beings, but they are described as having extremely thin, elongated bodies, so thin as to be in danger of high winds. They're usually like, white or like, that ghostly kind of shade of color. But these were tall beings that lived in like the caves and stuff, and they taught the Aborigines how to like hunt, how to cook, how to live, in the land. And these were like the teachers of them. So there's like cave paintings in Aboriginal caves that are up really high in the air. Supposedly these beings would float up there, and they would create the paintings up there, for them. And then that's how they explained how they got up there in the first place. Is not people climbing up there. It's because they were on the ceilings of these caves that were really high. These beings would fly up there and get them. They also, they taught them how to hunt and cook kangaroos and other animals. They brought the knowledge of painting to man. They showed man how to control fire, cooking, survival, just all sorts of things. They were like teachers. They were like spirit teachers, kind of. But they were described as, when you were describing this is the first thing that popped in my mind. How to hunt and fish and all that sort of stuff. But it was these fairy-like beings that, like you said earlier, was already lived on the land. They were already here, and they were teaching man how to live on the land, and they were teachers. So it's kind of similar, but this is all Aboriginal, so it's similar to Native American, what you were describing.
Oh yeah,
there.
no, very. That's odd.
Yeah, it's a lot of overlap.
So, are they Aboriginal spirits? Are fairies?
Or along that same lines.
Yeah.
Are they throughout the earth? I mean, we have them in Poland. We have them here.
Are they in the caves? Are these more cave creatures? Are these baggy salamanders?
Or are they just spirits? Are they actual just...
Earth elementals.
Yeah, something like that.
That's something we don't talk about a lot on this show. I don't know if elementals are real or not, but this may be a good example of maybe just an earth elemental, an entity that is more still, that's weird, not organic, but still a creature of this earth.
Yeah, it's an energy creature, kind of. But I guess it could manifest itself physically somehow.
Yeah, just maybe not organically.
Right, yeah. Just in a different way that we don't understand or hard to explain.
I like it.
So yeah, I mean, that was my first thought. There are paintings of them in the Aboriginal caves, but the only difference is they have arms and stuff. They're down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
See those and these.
See, that looks more that looks like it right there.
If it just didn't have the arms. But maybe it's just a different clade. Maybe it's a different phenotype.
All right, next one, ghost.
Just straight up ghosts?
Yeah. What if these are actually walking pants? I'm not joking, Link. What if they are just a piece of a ghost that's just barely coming through?
Could be. On the first couple, maybe. I'd say the one where the guy saw something running across.
Yeah, Carmel, Ohio was definitely a monster.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Yeah, it was flesh, let's just say
it was similar to, that's why I included, it's similar to the Nightcrawlers. It may be a different thing, but it's at least creepy enough to where it was included.
Right.
So ghosts, I don't know how I feel about this. That would kind of explain the jerky, odd movements. Videos, I believe, that have real ghosts. Actually, some listeners have sent them in. They have jerky, weird, repetitive movements. They look like they're glitching.
Okay.
Because, and especially, some people think ghosts can kind of dissipate over time. Mm-hmm. So what if these are really old ghosts where we're just getting kind of chunks of them still coming through?
Just is it
visibly.
Dad and his kid just walking through.
Mm-hmm. Or it's the repeat. It's the same image just being distorted.
But from the 1700s. They were strolling through town.
No, I'm saying that's why there's two of them.
Right, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I'm following along.
Okay. I don't know. What do you think, ghost?
Could be. I mean, could be a plausible thing. But then, no, I'm going to say no. Because why would the dogs freak out in the beginning? I mean...
dogs do not like ghosts.
True. I guess if it's just a repeat thing, I don't know. They definitely sensed it. But you would think that would be a recurring thing, maybe, perhaps, but I don't know.
Walking, squids, or octopus?
Now, this could be something. So
there are some people that speculate that this may be some kind of cephalopod that is curling its 8 tentacles into 2 legs and kind of walking. That's why it's fleshy. Or it could even be wrapping around a stick to help use it as a bone, basically. So that's why it's weird. I don't know about this. I don't think this is what it is. But this is an organic explanation.
It could be an upper atmospheric creature that got knocked down.
There we go. I don't think so, but sure.
It got knocked down, and it
is
literally
walking?
Can't go back up yet.
So I'm just living here.
So he's just
cruising down the street.
All right,
M4.
Yep. And he's just they can barely They can't support their weight, but they
Baby
can
jellyfish.
float a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I get ya.
Kind of hovering, just barely
Like
skimming
a balloon
across.
with that little rocket tied to it.
Yeah, just skimming across the bottom of the ground. Except the one that ran across in Ohio. Okay, that's the only outlier on that. That I don't think is a squid or a cephalopod or anything like that. But
Here
the first
is-
one could be.
So you think maybe the more classic Fresno Nightcrawlers?
Yeah.
Because the Carmel, Ohio doesn't look very classic. It's very muscular.
Yeah, that one's very different.
It's like a rake with no arms.
Could be a white thing. What do you think?
Could be what they actually look like when
Yeah.
they come all the way through.
Ooh, okay. But yeah, the first one, yeah, I wouldn't rule that out because you just don't know what's up there. And you don't know what could get knocked down.
Here's what they really are, though.
Okay.
I've known this for a while. So going back to season 1, a really, really early episode, we talked about oil pit squids,
Yes, we did.
ligakeet worms, that will bind themselves together to form complex bodies and move as one, as a defense mechanism. Now, what do these creatures have so these creatures have very much benefited from human interaction. They love our environments. They do a lot better. So what have they been evolving right underneath our feet and our sewer system, stuff like that?
They're watching.
And they may be emulating us or emulating birds or rodents or whatever.
Or they eat our poop and they get the DNA knowledge.
There you go. But no, that they're wrapping around sticks. And so they will incorporate hard structures into their defensive balls. So what have they figured out how to move better?
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing. We're literally seeing these big fleshy bags of hundreds of millions of these little micro worms.
Just scoop
And they may be
across.
creating a membrane on the outside to preserve moisture while they're walking. And that's that flesh, that's that flappiness in the wind.
Yeah. Now imagine if that is true. Like all this is like 100% the explanations for them. How freaking creepy is that? That something's like taking a human-ish form and walking upright.
Is that creepier than any of the others?
A little bit, because these things are here, living. It's like,
But yeah, you could take a match and kill them.
yeah, but it's the thought that they know, like, to emulate that. That's creepy. Like, oh, let's walk bipedal like humans, because we like them.
Well, no, they don't. I don't think they have that kind of thought. I think they're basically moving sticks.
Okay.
Cryptids we'll cover in the future, I think, may fall in the same group, like the Milford shrooms and some other things. That these weird kind of whitish gray, baggy, like fleshy bag cryptids.
Yeah. That's what we're going to categorize them under. The fleshy bag cryptids.
Yeah. But I think that, I don't know. This is a weird one. But they do this structure. They actually form these little polyps that look like eyes. So some people used to think they were these brains with eyes in the sewer. And it's actually they look like human brains when they're in their ball. And they develop these like little like pockets that look like eyes. So they're disgusting.
What are they called? Ligakeet?
Ligakeet is the family group. They're sewer worms.
Sewer worms.
I used to raise some. Remember, I feed them paper towels.
Oh, okay. Ugh.
And they stink. You think the sewer stinks because of poop? No, it stinks because of these worms.
I believe it. I mean, just sewer worms name alone sounds like it stinks.
They like toilet paper. Paper
Interesting.
towels.
Interesting. Just plain old ones, not used?
They don't care.
Oh, okay.
They'll eat you if you're still enough.
Yeah, but I believe it. So you don't want one of these collapsing on top of you.
No.
No, ew.
You better roll around in the fire or like bleach.
So they would burn like a gambaroo, whatever
Yes.
the thing is called? Yeah.
Check out YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, throwback, callback, whatever it is.
That's what I have for the Fresno Nightcrawler. So what do you think? Did you learn anything?
Oh, for sure. I didn't, yeah. I definitely did. There's a lot more to it, even though it's just that one.
There's dozens
Early
more
story, yeah.
that we didn't cover. And I kind of skipped over the main story because it's been beat to death.
Right, yeah.
It just retreaded ground.
Beating a dead horse. Yeah.
I thought the explanations were a better thing to spend because we spent about half the episode just on explanations.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I can grasp the squid theory. I could fall for that. I could also fall for what was the one we said before that I liked?
The Aborigines?
Well, that one for sure. That's the one I'm leaning towards most. Like that ghost spirit type creature.
Like a forest. Oh gosh, I just said
Elemental.
it. Elemental.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that's up there with worms for me.
Okay. That's saying something. The worm thing,
It's actually a deer, and we're stupid for thinking
yeah,
it's not a
yeah,
deer.
yeah.
Who
there
the
we go.
hell would describe that thing as a deer?
Probably an educated biologist that got a degree.
He probably went to Hawking.
Yes. I mean, he probably paid a lot of money for his degree, so he's never wrong. Is that how they think? I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right. Well, that's been the Fresno Nightcrawlers. I
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed it at home.
Except you, Kurt.
I'm
just kidding.
I've been the great and powerful mystery.
And I've been just Jay.
Remember, check out Facebook, Instagram, Patreon if you like it. We're getting more and more members in there all the time. All kinds of fun stuff going on there.
And cryptidsofthecorn.com.
Yep. The website, I'm going to try to get the store going live after January 1st. We will see, though.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Bye.
Bye. Stay magical.
You've been listening to Cryptids of the Corn. Be sure to join us in the next episode where we tantalize your intellect and expand the horizons of your mind. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we really appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay magical.